Welcome to the Diabetes Care Complex Kitchens at Children's National Health System. I'm Vanessa Weisbrod with the Celiac Disease Program, and today we're going to talk about preventing cross-contamination in the kitchen. We know that not every family can have a dedicated gluten-free space, so we're going to give you some pointers to make sure that everyone in your household stays safe, whether or not they're on a gluten-free diet. We're going to start by talking about boiling water and cooking things in that water like pasta or steaming vegetables. In the pot right now, I have gluten-containing pasta. If I were to cook the pasta in this pot, before I could add my gluten-free pasta to the pot, I would have to completely clean it. I'd have to remove the pasta, thoroughly wash the pan, just like I would to get rid of any bacteria, and then put my gluten-free pasta into the pot. Another way that you could do the same thing is if you cook your gluten-free pasta first. So once the gluten-free pasta is cooked, you could strain it out and then cook your gluten-containing pasta in the same water. So that's just two ways of doing things. Now let's talk about the strainer. It's not as simple as just straining both in the same strainer. If you do your gluten-free pasta first, then you could put your gluten-containing pasta into the same strainer. The flip side of that is if you do the gluten-containing first, you could always wash the strainer thoroughly and then strain gluten-free pasta. A lot of restaurants will steam their vegetables in the same water that they've used to cook your pasta. You definitely can't do that. You're gonna have cross-contamination. This is not okay for people on a gluten-free diet. We need to make sure to always use clean water. So for example, I'm steaming an artichoke. We would make sure we had clean gluten-free water in the pot before steaming your vegetables. Using these tips, you'll always be safe when boiling water. When it comes to condiments, the best recommendation for a shared kitchen space is to always use squeeze bottles or bottles that you can pour from. For example, with ketchup, salad dressing, mayonnaise, and mustard. Using these bottles, you can safely squeeze the products onto your toast or bagel or whatever it is you would be using without ever cross-contaminating the rest of the jar. If you were to use a jar like this mayonnaise where you would need to stick a knife inside the jar, it'd be very hard to prevent cross-contamination. Just think about having two slices of bread, one with gluten and one without. If you dip the knife in, then spread it onto the bread that contains gluten, then put the knife back into the mayonnaise, you'd be cross-contaminating that whole jar of mayonnaise and it would no longer be safe. When you can, always use a squeeze bottle. When it comes to preventing cross-contamination on kitchen equipment like bowls, utensils, and cutting boards, the important thing to remember is to always pick metal or plastic items. While there's no hard science that a wooden spoon could absorb gluten, it might. Wood is porous and it could absorb the gluten. So the best rule of thumb is just not to use wood in a shared kitchen. You just don't want to have any chance for cross-contamination. So pick things like metal mixing bowls, metal spoons, plastic spatulas, and whisks too. One other thing about cutting boards, while you always want to pick a version that's plastic, in a shared kitchen it's often helpful to have different colored cutting boards. A good idea in a shared space is to perhaps have two sets. It is possible to wash a cutting board and to scrub it clean just like you're getting bacteria off. But just as a reminder and to help people in the kitchen keep things separate, you may want to choose having two sets. For example, one red and one blue. Here in the Diabetes Care Complex Kitchens, our celiac program always uses blue utensils. All of our spatulas and spoons are blue and all of our cutting boards are blue. Everyone who also uses the kitchen knows, never touch blue unless you're using it for gluten-free foods. When it comes to your toaster, if you live in a shared household, there's really only one answer. A toaster oven. If you have a pop-up toaster, it's almost impossible to prevent cross-contamination. You can't take the toaster apart, you can't clean inside the grates, so it really doesn't work so well in a shared space. On the flip side, a toaster oven is very easy to prevent cross-contamination with. Most toaster ovens come with a tray. You could make it so that your family only puts gluten-free items on the tray, or if you're going to use both, you could line it with foil in between use to make sure that everything is kept safe and on its own piece of clean foil. You could also line the rack in the toaster oven with foil and again, use your gluten-containing products on the foil, change the foil, and use gluten-free products on it, and then simply toast it on the foil to keep everything safe. It's such a big deal to us to keep toasters safe that here at Children's National Celiac Disease Program, we actually give every newly diagnosed child a brand new toaster to take home with them. It's their first step into the gluten-free world, and having a new toaster that's their own allows them to safely toast their gluten-free bread every morning for breakfast. The last area of the kitchen to focus on are pots and pans. With a cookie sheet, for example, if you're baking gluten-containing cookies and gluten-free cookies, you want to be sure to scrub it clean to get rid of all that gluten. Another option is to put down something like parchment paper underneath the cookies before you bake them. So make your gluten-containing cookies, scoop it out onto the parchment paper, bake them. When the cookies are done, you can then throw the parchment paper away, still scrub the pan in between uses, and then put another piece of parchment paper down to bake your gluten-free cookies. With pots, again, scrub them in between use just like you would to get rid of bacteria. For frying pans, there's a little extra information you'll need. If you're frying food, you need to know that you cannot fry gluten-free food in the same oil that you've already fried gluten-containing food in. Even though you might not see any particles in the oil, you still always want to change it out. This applies at home, and also when you go to restaurants, you always want to be sure to ask if the fried foods are cooked in separate fryers.